Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. It is once again time for some queer TikTok, because we love it. Before we get started though, we're almost at 500 subs, which seems kind of surreal. Maybe by the time this video comes out we'll even be over 500, I'm not sure, but anyways, thank you for being here. But you know the drill. If you're here, you know you gotta get hydrated. So go grab some water, or some tea, or whatever else you like to drink. And then we'll get started. Are you hydrated? Good, let's go.
What's your drink of choice?
A Negroni.
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah.
Bagliato. With Prosecco in it.
Oh, stunning.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's kind of funny how that happens. How queer people are just drawn to each other and feel so comfortable with each other. Even if they don't realize it because they're both queer, and then they realize down the line and they're just like, wait, well, we get along really well. I mean, there's a reason we thought we were attracted to each other, right? So let's just keep living together. And I think it's hilarious. And I'm here for it.
A ghost? I was over on the bench. I was over on the bench. I was over on the bench. I was sitting over on the bench. I was over on the bench. I made a salad with craisins. Hello, I'm Chip Mulaney. I'm your father. But sometimes he would be gay. Ever been to the goddamn zoo? I used to smoke crack. What's yesterday? Shut up, you're all gonna die. Street smarts. Boom, orange juice. That's life. Now I've thrown him off his rhythm. Give us some money! Stay down on the ground. Stay down on the ground, you motherfucker. Do my friends hate me, or do I just need to go to sleep? But why don't we just tell our relatives that I'm a 4-year-old boy? Hey, do you want me to kill that guy for you? I am now gross. And what's this? Peppa!
Because figuring out your sexuality is frustrating. So why not make fun of it in the long run, right? Because it can get so messy. Because for some people it's just really fluent, and sometimes it's just really hard to tell if you're actually attracted to someone in that way, or if you just like think they're cool and want to be friends. It can be messy. Good luck, I guess. If you're trying to figure out, if you haven't just given up on it. If you want to figure it out, I hope you do.
Wish I stayed at home in bed watching cable porn, or wish I off myself instead, wish I was never born.
Why are we more okay with other people doing it? Because I guess in a way we're just used to it when other people do it, because especially if you're like in early stages, like you're just figuring it out, you don't really know if you're trying to present more masculine as a trans guy or something, you don't have the specifics down, so you might still get misgendered a lot, so you're kind of used to it. And like, especially if they're friends, you know, they don't mean any harm, they're just like needing some time to get used to it. But when you do it yourself, it's like, bro, you've known for so long. How do you misgender yourself? I do it constantly. Because are my pronouns they, them? Yes. Do I misgender myself constantly? Also yes. Oh well. Yeah, just take your flag and go at that point. Honestly, if they refuse to accept you for who you are, you don't really need that shit in your life. Like, if you can safely and like securely remove yourself from that, absolutely do that. Because how do you look at someone and just like, no, I know you better than you know yourself? In general, just ridiculous. But especially if you have someone who's that far along in the transition, at that point it just becomes so funny. Because imagine that happening in public and just like, oh yeah, this is my daughter, and you just have like a full ass man there and everybody's just like, dude, what is wrong with you? That's insane. It just becomes so much more ridiculous the longer someone, like the further someone is along in their transition. It sounds like I'm talking about pregnancy, I'm sorry. But it's dumb and disrespectful either way. Don't do that shit, obviously. But what is wrong with people?
You use they, them pronouns. Oh, what next? You're going to tell me you identify as an attack helicopter? Wait, is that an option? Excuse me? Well, prior to you mentioning it, I didn't realise it was an option. And now that you have mentioned it, it sounds sick. So yeah, I'm implementing that immediately. Ask me my pronouns again real quick. What are your Thank you so much for asking. My pronouns are...
Okay, this is the first time I've actually had the attack helicopter joke. And funnily, because normally we're just done with people who do that, because it's so dumb and it's so old and it's never been funny. But this as a reaction to it, it's giving funny. I'm very, very proud of you for managing to make it funny. And I also love your makeup, so good job, I guess.
Hey, dragon, not lizard. I don't do that tongue thing.
You're,
Intimidating? Awe-inspiring?
tiny.
Of course. I'm travel size for your convenience. If I was my real size, your cow here would die of fright. Down, Bessie.
That's funny. It's funny. I feel like a lot of AFAB non-binary people probably get this a lot of like, are you sure you're just not like a masculine lesbian? Like, it's fine, you know? Like, lesbians are butch anyways. Like, it's fine, you know, that whole stereotype. It's so funny. And also, I haven't watched Mulan in forever. I should watch it again. For obvious reasons. Okay, I really appreciate this one. Because normally, which by the way I also think is funny, because when queer people do it, a lot of the time the straights get something that's really ugly or just really basic. But in this case, the cow's still just very cute. It's very cute because I don't think ugly squishmallows are even a thing. If you want to prove me wrong on that, feel free, but I don't think it's a thing. I've never seen one where I was like, okay, that's just ugly. They're all just kind of cute. And I really appreciate it. But also, I think that's probably fair. Like, it doesn't really make sense, but it kind of does. How does it make sense? Oh well.
Mom?
No, honey.
I am your father.
Yeah, that's the thing about estrogen, because whether or not they want to, because honestly, if you as a trans woman don't want to drop your voice that deep anymore, they're all able to. If they went through like male puberty first, they can all do this. Trust me, they can. And it's really funny because it freaks people out and I'm here for it, right? Because imagine some creepy dude trying to pull some sexist crap on them, like especially if it's like a trans woman in a lesbian relationship, and they want to pull some really weird fetishizing crap of like, oh, can I join you? Haha. And then the trans woman just turns around and is like, yeah, sure, honey. And it would freak them out so badly. And I love it. Use that power for good, please.
Hey? Hey? I don't think that you have been queer enough today. Ah, I see, on second glance that I was wrong. You are very queer. Okay, yeah, you keep doing that. Okay, bye. Yay, queer, woo!
A queer police, normally I'd be very against it, Because normally the queer police kind of ends up kind of trying to control other people's identities, or like the labels they're allowed to use. Like being like, oh, well, if you're a lesbian and you've dated men, that's not right. Or some bullshit of, oh, if you're this, you have to present this certain way, which is just rubbish. We hate that. That kind of queer policing, we don't want. But making sure that we as queer people are out here being our best queer self, that I'm kind of here for. If it's less of a policing and more of a support kind of thing, right? Of like, okay, you're not queer enough. If you want help, I'm gonna help you. That I am very much here for.
Well, that's a problem. But not my fault. I did everything I could, and you did too. Also, why are you still here?
Why are you still here? Yeah, I guess your girlfriend realized that she's maybe potentially not that straight, right? Because I feel like honestly, I still think a lot more people are like technically bi or something. It's just so rare to them that it's like so easy to dismiss. Because if you're like mostly attracted to men as a woman, it can be just very easy to be like, oh yeah, no, I must be straight, right? Right? It's like a girl crush, right? I just think she's really pretty. Like I don't want her like that. It can be easy to dismiss, but maybe at some point you realize that you're not so straight after all. And that's okay. But honestly, that's just my theory, because again, straight people don't really make sense to me.
Lady got mad at me because I misgendered her baby. We were in a long line. I said, hey, she dropped her binky. She was like, you mean his binky? He's a boy. It's obvious he's a boy. He's wearing blue. Boys wear blue. And the best thing about this conversation is she had on the blue cardigan. So I was like, you know what? You're right, sir. I apologize. I didn't mean to ruin this father-son moment. He didn't like that one bit. He was very upset about that. He tried to hit me, but I was wearing a pink shirt. I was like, you can't hit a lady. No, no, no.
That is literally how you do queer jokes. Because it's so funny. Because it's the same kind of energy a lot of cishet people bring to their pets, right? When you like accidentally misgender their pets. Because if you know a lot about dogs, you can probably tell whether a certain dog is a male or a female dog. Maybe. But if you don't know anything, or like if you don't know a lot about dogs, you just think, oh, cute doggo, and you just kind of say the first thing that comes to mind, and you don't really care because it's a dog, who gives a shit, right? And then they get super offended. And it's the same kind of energy. And I love this joke, and I think it's funny because they get so upset when you accidentally misgender their dog or their literal infant who doesn't give a shit at all. You're just trying to be nice, right? But then they get so unhinged about it. My god. But then they'll turn around and like be like, no, I'm gonna misgender this trans person on purpose because I think it's wrong. Go screw yourself. My god.
They told me I could be anything. So I became a gremlin with mental health issues and a caffeine addiction. What's up?
Well, that's the thing. If you can be anything, go be a gremlin with mental health issues and a caffeine addiction. Because honestly, same. Do I get a headache if I don't drink coffee? Probably. You can't prove that. Come on.
My gender is yes. My sexuality is yes. I see a pretty person, I think, do I want to be them or do I want to do them? And the answer doesn't matter. I'm too scared to talk to them.
That took a bit of a Saturn. But you know what? That's okay. Because honestly, I feel like a lot of queer people see other queer people and just like, yes, I love this look. I think you look really good. Would we ever go up to them and actually tell them? No, Because that seems really awkward. It seems really awkward, and you don't know how to make it seem like natural or easygoing, so you just don't. So it's fair. But on the other hand, they're probably thinking the same thing about you. And I think it'd be really cool. Like, honestly, I would appreciate it if someone came up to me and were like, hey, I really like your outfit. I think people would appreciate it, but honestly, I kind of understand if you don't. Because I don't think I ever could. But still, I feel like a lot of us would probably appreciate it.
We want to be in a relationship. We do. Do we want to date people? We do not. So how do we go about fixing that? We cry. No, we don't cry. We put ourselves out there. And then what? Then we cry. No.
I mean, what did we just talk about? It's easier said than done, right? Because it can be kind of scary to put yourself out there or to date people. Because if you don't know someone at all, it can just be really awkward. So honestly, I really kind of like the approach of just like meeting people as friends and then just kind of seeing where things goes, because it kind of makes it less awkward. Because if you date with the purpose of finding like a romantic or sexual partner, it kind of seems more rigid in a way, because that's the goal. Like, you want to try to find someone to be in a relationship with. But if you just set out as friends and then you can kind of both see what's going on, it just kind of seems more flexible and more easygoing. You know? But maybe crying won't help. But if it helps you feel better and then do something else, then actually go cry. Honestly, feel your emotions. That's okay. But crying is the only solution. Probably not the best way to go about it.
Maybe depressed, but at least I have an iced coffee.
You're still depressed.
But I have an iced coffee.
But you're still depressed.
Okay, but I have an iced coffee.
Do it.
Just be careful you don't spill your iced coffee while slapping someone. They may have a point, right? You're still depressed even if you have an iced coffee. That being said, you're allowed to do things that make you feel better, right? Because especially if you're depressed, that's kind of important, to find little ways or like little things that bring you joy. Is an iced coffee going to fix your depression? No. But listen, if going out and getting iced coffee helps you not isolate completely and actually helps you get out of bed and just not lay around the house all day, then go get iced coffee. If you just want to go get iced coffee because it makes you feel better, who cares? Go get iced coffee. Come on.
Why are you dressing like that? You look so masculine. Girls should wear skirts. Not a real girl. Is like a man in that? They call you little baby boy? Is that what you want, huh? Little baby boy? Yeah, actually, that'd be sick. Little baby boy. Wait. What? Yeah, I'm a trans man. So, if you could call me a little baby boy, that'd be great, actually. Got a problem with that? You're a girl! You're a girl! Not a man, you're a girl!
Transphobic people would be like, how do I make the least amount of sense possible? That's one way to do it. That's one way to do it. Because listen, if you want to be called a baby boy because you're a trans man, that's kind of fair. That's kind of fair. If you don't want to be called a baby boy because you're a trans guy, but you don't want to be like babied, also fair. But still, kind of fair. Transphobic people don't make sense. You know, either way, like no matter what they say to you, I hope you can ignore it because they're literally just trying to be assholes. I know knowing that's their only intention doesn't necessarily make it hurt less, but you know, if you want to be called baby boy, come here. I will call you baby boy. Tell you to get some sleep and stay hydrated, obviously. Come on.
Put a finger down, genderqueer edition. This could include any gender identity. It just means your gender bendy as fuck.
All right,
Put a finger down if you've ever questioned that the gender you've been assigned at birth does not suit you. Put a finger down if you think the concept of gender is made up and stupid. Put a finger down if growing up you always kind of felt like you didn't fit in with the other girls or the other boys. Put a finger down if you cringe every time someone uses a gendered term to describe you, such as ma'am, miss, mister. Put a finger down if you've ever been intrigued by non-binary people. Put a finger down if your gender expression shifts quite often from day to day. Put a finger down if you would prefer that gender just didn't exist in this society.
I don't have enough fingers while holding my phone, okay? But 7 out of 7, that's a good score. I mean, it's not like I didn't already know. But, oh wow, 7 out of 7 is still a good score. Have I ever finished a school test with a perfect score? I don't know. Hopefully, but I don't actually remember.
If you identify as queer, I need your help, and here's how. Last week, I posted this video, basically saying how throughout history, queer people have used different indicators to show that they're part of the community, like wearing a ring on a certain finger. So, I got to thinking, why don't we do a new version of this? How about we all paint our ring finger an accent color to indicate that we're part of the queer community? It's subtle, the straights probably won't notice it, and if you already have an accent nail, I'm gonna guess you're already a little fruity. But in order for this to work, I need your help. I need you to share this video with every damn queer you know. Even if it's your gay barber down the street, get his number, send this video, let's make this a trend, let's make this go viral, and let's get to fingernail painting, people. Once you've painted your accent nail, be sure to stitch this video so that we can share.
Well, there you go. I already have painted nails. Right now, I don't have an accent nail. So, am I gonna color clash and do an accent nail in gold later? Absolutely. But listen, if you're queer and you like painting your nails, there you go. I mean, listen, accent nails in general, very queer, agreed. So if you already have your nails painted and you have another like accent nail that isn't your ring finger, that's also fair. But if you don't, go for a ring finger, I guess.
Yeah, so then I told him that I've never been in a gym, but I've had a gym in me. I'm just here to take a Pilates class. Yeah, gotta get a good stretching. Anyway, I've gotta go. Those legs won't spread themselves. Sorry, do you have a breathing problem? What's with all the huffing and the puffing? I don't have a breathing problem. What I have a problem with is fags. Maybe you need to give up smoking. I didn't mean fags as in cigarettes. I meant like puffs. Puffs? Like a vape? Gays. I have a problem with the gays. I know what you're homophobic ass man. What's your problem with the gays? I don't think you lot should be allowed in here watching us get undressed. Is it because you're ashamed of your body? Ashamed of my body? No. Really? I just don't want you, you know, like, checking us out. Don't worry, sis. Even if I was a cashier, I wouldn't check you out. Oh, piss off. Oh, what a pity. I don't think the showers at the gym are golden. Oh, yeah. Do you think you're funny? I get by. Oh, you're nothing but a sissy. Says the cis heady. Listen, I just don't want you creeping on us. Creeping on you? Don't worry, sis. I left my magnifying glass at home. You've got some balls. And how would you know? Were you checking me out? No, I didn't mean it like... If you like the front, you'll love the back. Bisexual.
The panic in his eyes. It's funny, because literally, again, it's one of the things that just doesn't make sense. And also, I may have just... it's a little bit hard to see on camera. But I put a sheen on it, and I think it's really cute. Did I paint over? Absolutely, because I'm not good. But back to this TikTok. Yes, I think he's funny, and that's really... it still makes no sense when people do that. Of like, of course, if you're gay and in a changing room, you're automatically interested in like everyone else there. As if you don't go to the gym for the same reason like anyone else goes to the gym, because you like working out or because you know it's good for you or whatever your reasons really. But listen, gays don't go to the gym to spy on weird people in the changing room. Because guess what? Queer people know what boundaries are, and they know what consent is, and they know when a situation is sexual and when it isn't. And changing rooms at the gym, not sexual. Can they be when you're there with someone you know is also queer and is into you? Sure, absolutely. But does this mean queer people go around spying on weird people? What the hell? What are you doing?
Check out these young teenagers who suddenly decide they're transgender. They immediately cut off their families. They very often drop out of school. They are very often start tattooing themselves and using drugs. And they are creating a world for themselves that is so healthy, so built around sexuality, and they lose all their hobbies. Their only hobby is being transgender.
What is this audio? Like, I've heard it before. It's still just funny. It's still just funny. And I love how the parents were even, like, in on it. Because this kid went to their parents and they were like, listen, I need to do a TikTok. And they had to explain why. And the parents were just like, yes, go ahead. It's just funny. Because this clip, the whole sudden onset dysphoria, or like, oh, everyone's suddenly turning trans. Like, no. People aren't just suddenly turning queer. They're just realizing that they are. Because there's less judgment. Kind of feels like there's the same amount of judgment, but there's also way more acceptance for queer people. So obviously, more queer people are going to come out of the closet and be like, hey, this is actually who I am, and don't suppress that part of themselves like they often had to in the past. And I don't know about you, but I think that's a good thing. And this audio is just funny. So if you want to go around making being trans your only personality trait, go off. It's going to piss so many people off. I'm here for it.
Okay, so I get comments like this a lot, and I think that this one's being nice, but a lot of the times, people are just trying to be mean. And I'm really confused on how it's mean. You look like a woman! Is that a bad thing? Have you seen women? I mean, seriously, have you seen women? You look like a girl! I hope so. They're pretty. Why do you want to look feminine? Because I can be hot? I can pull it off, duh. You're just jealous you can't have boobs. I'm jealous I can't have boobs. I want boobs. Boobs are cool.
That's kind of fair. But that's what I mean. Like, sometimes people just are just trying to be rude. But it's like, hi, such a woman. Like, how's that a bad thing? How's that a bad thing? Like, why would I be ashamed to look like a woman? Right? Because either you actually really do look like a woman. Because in my case, a lot of people seem to think I do. Go off. Do I care? No. Am I a woman? No. But does it matter what you think? No. Are you just trying to, like, say it to be rude because you think it's gonna upset me? That's just gonna make it funny, dude. Honestly, like, do you have nothing better to do than trying to, like, go around finding trans people and misgendering them? Which, by the way, you're spectacularly bad at, because so many cis people seem to get it, and it's funny. What are you doing with your lives, really?
Everyone's always like, you can't be a they, them, you're only one person. But what they don't understand is I am this person, this person, this person, this person, this person. On the internet, I'm this person. On the weekends, I'm this person. And if you mess with me, I'm this person. Sure, singular they has been used in the English language for centuries, but me? Honey, I'm plural.
Again, I love this response because, yeah, sure, it is grammatically correct to use a singular they, and it has been part of this language for a very long time. People do it all the time without noticing it, and it ends in funny situations where they're trying to be hateful and be like, oh, you can't be a they, them, you're just one person, but then contradict themselves in the comment below that and call a singular person they without noticing it, because you do it so often, you just don't notice it anymore. But this response is also fair, because you can pull off so many different looks that maybe you are multiple people. Who knows?
Are you sure that you are gay?
You are gay.
Don't you think that this is just a phase? Maybe you just scared to talk to the girls. I'll set a date.
I'll set a date.
I know that you may think you like the boys.
Get that dick.
But maybe you just want to see me die. I've arranged a talk with Father Jason. Pray the gay away.
Hello, therapy.
I love her channel. It's so funny. It's just funny. I don't even want to know how many videos like this she made. I know I included like a gender fluid one of hers before, like a coming out scenario. That was really fun. And honestly, the accent, it's just funny because if this happens in real life, it's really not funny, but I'm glad that we as queer people get to laugh about it to kind of help heal. You know, that's why it's funny.
Are you a girl?
No.
Are you a boy?
No.
Are you just a person?
I am.
Are you Anna?
That's the thing. I love it when people say, oh, like, kids, how will I explain this to my kids? You literally don't even really have to. And even if you do, if you say it to gay people, and people are like, oh, how am I going to explain it to my kids? Just say that the two men are in love, and they're just going to be like, okay, cool, can I have ice cream now? Because kids just don't give a shit. Because they're not as upset about, oh, there's only two genders. You know, that's just you. Your kid, not going to care. Kids don't care. Literally, if you tell them, oh, yeah, this is a thing, they'll be like, okay, cool, it's a thing. Yeah, I learn new things every day. Like, everything's new and confusing to me. So if you say it works like this, and two men can be in love, or someone can be just a person, not a man or a woman, they're just going to be like, okay, cool, yeah. Which honestly is fair.
What do you identify yourself as? Right now I identify as queer, but I'm considering bisexual. I'm kind of in the figuring it out kind of phase.
When did you realize you were queer?
Good question. 6 months ago. I started taking anti-anxiety meds, and I think that helped me, like, kind of break down those walls. It was just a random day in December, and I was like, you know what? I think I might like men, and I do.
Now this one I honestly just wanted to include for kind of questioning positivity, I guess, to be like, listen, it's totally okay to admit to yourself or to other people that you don't have it figured out. Because again, I wish it was easy to figure out. I wish all of us just like woke up one day, like when we were teenagers or something, and be like, oh yeah, all right, now I know. Unfortunately, more complicated than that. If it takes longer, that's fine. Take the time you need to know yourself. I know it's frustrating not to know, but still, it's okay to question.
You see, on top there's Don Lino. Right. There's me. And there's regular fish.
Oh, that's me.
No. There's plankton. There's single-cell amoebas.
Oh, then there's me.
I'm getting there. There's coral. There's rocks. There's whale poo. And then there's you.
That's messed up.
So far to questioning positivity. But I mean, it's still fair, because sometimes you need to be called out on it, right? Because we can get stuck on the idea of, oh yeah, no, this is my label now, without realizing that it's maybe not even true. We just kind of want to be done with questioning, so we just, oh yeah, no, this is my label, I'm picking it now, it's fine, and try to ignore it, but it always backfires in the end. And then there's that part of your brain that's just like, no, this is not you, this is you. Is it messed up? Sure, but it's also fair.
Were you born a girl or a boy? Ma'am, I was born to seek and destroy. If you have to pick one, choose A or B. If the concept of infinity.
Okay, that was a cool one to finish on. That was a very nice one. Because again, you can't argue with these people. You can't answer seriously and explain it logically, because technically they know that you could just say, I don't choose A or B. I'm non-binary. I don't have to pick either one. Technically they know. They just want to make you pick because it's uncomfortable for them. Because their little pea brain apparently can't comprehend more than two options. Counting past two is very complicated for some people apparently. And accepting things, or like accepting that things can be true even if they don't experience it themselves, is also, like, it's complicated for people, you know? So honestly, answering with humor might be the best response, because you're not going to change their mind with logic because they don't want to change their mind. So it doesn't really matter what you're going to say. So if you just want to answer with humor, that's totally fair. You know? So anyways, I hope y'all are painting your nails if you want to. I hope y'all are hydrated. And I hope you're gonna have a nice New Year's Eve, which is tomorrow. I hope you're gonna get through it well. And I wish you all a very happy and successful 2023. And by successful, I don't mean a rigid, oh, make a lot of money or something. If that what success means to you, go for it, you know? But if it means moving out, or finding a job that just works for you, or starting a new hobby you like, or starting your own business, or whatever it means to you, I wish you luck with it. And yeah, I'll be here along the way to keep reminding you to stay hydrated.